It's the oldest marathon in the world behind only the ancient Greeks.
We still got a long ways to go.
It's the most grueling course of the 6 Abbott Marathon majors.
Content creation at its finest! At its finest!
And it's so hard to get into that just 2 letters put you in the top echelon of the world's runners.
Let's go, baby!
And if I want to keep the momentum going in my first marathon, I realize I need some inspiration.
Hey, you look familiar.
The type that can only come from an event runners everywhere dream to be a part of. That's Patriots Day weekend in a little town called Boston.
We're going on a little field trip.
It's about 2 hours on the Peter Pan buses from Hartford Union Station. Prior commitments had me waiting until Sunday night to make the trek, but there are events from organizers that begin as soon as Friday morning. But we wanted the hostel for the 2 nights that I'm here. Backpackers Hostel and Pub on the edge of Everett. If you decide to take the trip on a whim like me, you can expect hostels will be the only cost-effective options left to work with. Colin Cowherd is so mad right now. He's a backwards hat kind of guy. So it is 7 o'clock in the morning. We are planning the Uber to get to Newberry Street, which is where a number of shakeout runs are going to be. Anybody who did that in New York might recognize this little puppy, which means we're going to have a nice little Gen Z look over the shoulder. I'm also realizing just how bad the bags under my eyes are. This is absolutely brutal. I think I'm going to have to get some coffee. I got tea instead because I'm a degenerate and I blame the English. Newberry Street on Marathon weekend becomes the ultimate street party for runners everywhere. Within a 4-block range, I counted 7 pop-up shops and 5 different shakeout runs, all back-to-back throughout the morning. An ASICS band is present setting up for Believe in the Run. While I enjoy my tequila sunrise, bacon, egg, and cheese, Matt Joy and Tracksmith show up from the early morning shift, with Kafusi getting there early for the festivities before his run with Bandit, and Ambert Palgatora running by with the group as well. So I have this whole plan in place. Start with Believe in the Run at 8:30, get a little break before Kofuzi and Bandit at 9, and just keep on going so long as there's runs left to do.
What's up, buddy?
Here's the thing though. When you leave the car sitting for a while, you eventually feel the rust in the brakes the next time you use it.
All right, we got to pace ourselves here. We're just back into the training blocks, only on 10 a week. I got 2 more of these to go, so we're just gonna walk a little bit. All right, mile 1 for the day. See, this is the sobering part. Once they're way ahead of you. But it's all right, we're here too. We got this. Come on now. This right here is proof that we still got a long ways to go. It's just the beginning. We're just getting started. All right, come back tour. Here we go. Back into town. Almost to the end. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Here we are, Newberry. Here we go. This is how we finish strong. Holy crap. Oh, that's been a while.
So I only got 1 3-miler out of the experience. But just look at the amount of people in that area that are running and taking in the brands and whatever they have to offer. It genuinely felt less like a race tune-up and more like a celebration of running. A celebration of being able to get to the starting line in Hopkinton after years of building up your long-distance speed or fundraising an astronomical amount of money. It was weird. I didn't really mingle a whole lot, so that coupled with falling behind confirmed my feelings of being on the outside looking in, but it didn't matter like it has before. I was so enthralled by everyone, whether it was the seasoned runners who were top tier since middle school cross country or the folks that clawed from scratch in the last 5 or so years or however long it took. Everyone, no matter the road that got them there, all had the same destination and earned their stripes. And that's something to commemorate. So while we're there, we gotta hit up all the pop-up shops that are on Newberry Street. Tracksmith, ASICS, the Brooks that have got me through running so far. The saucy Sauconys that are catching my eye right now. Looking at all this gear, I can't help but wonder. I had to see what was there at the expo. If you're new to running, the expo is the final step in your long registration process for a major marathon. This is where you get your bib. Some races you drop off your checked bag. Various things are all set up in a convention center trying to sell you some stuff, whatever you need for the race, and then some. In Boston's case, I walked 2 blocks away to the Heinz Veterans Memorial Convention Center. I've heard from seasoned vets since that this is relatively a smaller expo, but comparing to New York, it didn't really feel smaller, it just felt more split up. You're greeted after the bibs with a big shot from Adidas, followed by a separate room full of Boston Marathon history history and all the world marathon accoutrement to your heart's desire, followed then by a room filled with vendors selling everything from merch to race fuel and even gutters for some reason. But here's the beauty of this expo that wasn't the case in New York. The finish line is just a 5-minute walk down Boylston Street. Copyrighted music was being played, so I couldn't really share the sights and sounds, but this experience was hard to describe. It was an oddly satisfying silence in the noise of a tourist city. It was like everyone had all known of the historical running moments that were made on this spot, both inspirational and downright tragic, but I could only take it in for so long. Start early tomorrow, so after a little bit of pizza from nearby, which I highly recommend, we had to head back to Everett until the morning. Alright, this is the day. Let's see what kind of fun arises today. The Sitco sign. The 1 mile to go mark, right in front of Hotel Commonwealth at Kenmore Square. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure about crowd levels, so I got there about an hour before even the wheelchair runners started in Hopkinton. But being able to walk past Fenway Park and all of its history, it takes the cake. I've been there before, and I'll be honest, I grew up in a Yankees family and probably would still consider myself a Yankees guy. But I don't know, seeing a stadium like that, nestled in the city, like the best English soccer stadiums out there, you can't help but respect it. And it became a fantastic backdrop for the performances that I was about to see.
So, Kipchoge, that was not on the bingo card at all.
The weather was brutal, but it was all worth it in the end. Not just because we could see Seth Gamore behind the scenes, but as the rain came down, the convoy arrived.
Dedication. 1, 2, 3. This is the life of an influencer, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna make it. Content creation at its finest. At its finest.
Okay, so it's a bunch of tired people all running in the same direction. What could be so special about it? But I'm sitting here thinking about how bad the conditions felt from the sidelines, seeing all these folks go through a course designed to be all downhill at the beginning, get you all excited, and then kick you when you're feeling your absolute worst. To me, it was like seeing gladiators. Not in the brute force way, but in the way of inner strength. That finisher's medal with the classic unicorn design means even though you were about 10 seconds from getting chucked into the lion's den, you got back up, you looked fear right in the eye, and you kept going until the job was done. It really felt like I was watching the human spirit in real time, what it truly means to be resilient. And I guess it really didn't hit until later on, but I realized I'm one of them. I had my moment doing the New York City Marathon just a few months ago and had been downplaying it since I was a 6-hour finisher. But you know what? I got over the line, right? That's why I went to Boston. That's why I wanted to see the race. Not just to watch history with the under 2 hour himself, Eliud Kipchoge, being there, although maybe the history might not have been the type he wanted. I needed to see from a third person view just how Herculean of an accomplishment that is. And to remind myself that I started this journey to prove to myself that I could do anything provided I put my mind to it. And you know what? I already have. I needed this kind of boost to get back on the saddle. And having you two along for the ride, it's got me thinking. I kind of want to do something crazy. Not Mr. Beast crazy, don't exactly have that in the budget right now, but something that's attainable but challenging. As for what the challenge is, you'll see in the next video. If it's up already, it'll be right here. If not, gonna have to subscribe to find out.